You're really weird. So the other day, I was looking at my Google Docs account, specifically the text document that all my video ideas are housed in, and didn't feel like doing any of them. Not that they're bad video ideas, but I wanted to do something fun just for the sake of fun, which is what brought me to this. As per usual, let's go over some things before we start. Firstly, this is about specific user end powers, not power systems. Nen, chakra, blood arts, or magic aren't what I'm talking about, mostly because I realized I could milk that for an entire other video. I want to talk about specific people's powers that I love, which is not saying that I love the character or the anime they are in. Despite my awful personality, I can still like a power even from a terrible anime, and I'll prove it to you. Black Clover is an anime I've made my hatred for abundantly clear. Any chance I get to talk about being bad, I do so, and it is the only anime I've ever hated more than Re:Zero. That being said, even this anime has some cool boys in it that have powers I like a lot. Latios, in my opinion, has the coolest magic in the entire show. In fact, my favorite ability in general is the power to steal powers from other people, which isn't exactly Latios' power, more like he can absorb and redirect magic. Even still, this is my favorite power in Black Clover, and one I wish we could have seen a lot more of. Someone who does have that exact power, though, is All For One in My Hero. He has a power that might as well have been designed by me because it's exactly what I think a badass villain should have. Stealing other abilities is something I like for a few reasons. One being that it basically means limitless potential, both power and story-wise. Another being that, by itself, it's not actually a strong power. Without having actually stolen anything, All For One would basically be a 100-something-year-old man that was completely normal. That combination of starting out weak and limitless potential really just gets my blood pumping, and is something that actually is not done well in anime too often. As short-lived in the show as All For One is, though, he really showed some sick use of his quirk. This is going to be a weird one, but bear with me. Kuroko from Kurokos Basketball might not have any supernatural powers, but I think it counts for the purpose of this list. Also, this is my list, so I don't need to follow any rules. This is a lawless channel. However, anyone who has seen the show would probably agree that the people in it basically do have superpowers. Kuroko is without a doubt the worst basketball player that we see on the court in the anime, but that's his whole power. That's his whole thing, being so unremarkable that people forget him. In actual games, he can basically turn invisible and teleport, and while the show will say it's due to misdirection, I think Kuroko is actually some sort of alien life form. Also, his power isn't all-encompassing. It doesn't work on some people at all, and once people get used to it, he becomes useless and a huge detriment to his team. That all-or-nothing nature of this quote-unquote power is what makes me like it so much, though. Next, we have a character that's about as far from Kuroko as possible, and that's Rui from Demon Slayer. Sadistic, stinky, and just an all-around weird guy is the perfect fit for his abilities. Having near indestructible threads he can create and manipulate at will, he embodies the stinky spider vibe to a T. For me, what sets this power off is the sheer terror factor. Imagine having to face Rui in the forest, and all these near invisible threads are hanging around you, ready to take off a limb or two. Using his blood, also, he can create a cage that tightens around his opponent until they get cubed up like James Shade in Resident Evil. While this isn't the most original power we've seen a demon use in the show, it's my personal favorite. It's hard to imagine a technique that would be any scarier to face off against. Easy to understand at a glance powers like this one are amazing, because not only can everyone get them right away, but they are supremely versatile. Now we have the Best Boy, anime's #1 cutie, and the guy I would pick from all anime to have as my best friend, Adolf Reinhardt. Despite my burning desire to talk about how amazing he is as a character and a human, this is a video about powers, so it'd be unfitting for me to do so. While at first glance you might think he's just another typical anime electricity user, you'd be wrong. So fuck you. I am sorry. I'm sorry about that. Let's continue. He uses electricity as his MO operation base was an electric eel, but not like other anime characters who just shoot it out randomly. Using his arsenal of knives that he carries as lightning rods, he can pick and choose his targets by throwing a good poke their way. And as if that wasn't cool enough, he can be a radar replacement, very, very useful. He can use EMF to stop bullets and other attacks, and even bring himself back from the dead by electrically stimulating his heart. On top of all of that, he can also whoop some ass in hand-to-hand combat due to his training combined with the enhanced body he was given. Sadly, there was nothing in his vast arsenal to stop his piece of shit wife from cheating on him. This by no means was a comprehensive list. There are other anime powers I find just as cool as these, but having every cool power from the thousands of anime I've seen in one video would be too long for my pea brain. Also, since this video is outside my comfort zone, I wanted to keep it on the shorter side, just in case I made it unwatchable without realizing. Either way, I'd love to hear some of your favorite anime powers and how you feel about the ones I talked about in this video. Thanks for watching, if you made it this far.